There was one time that I participated on an interview team, and I watched a woman who was so nervous to interview that she broke down crying. A position where she should have been a shoo-in was blown because she was unable to control her nervousness throughout the interview. Now, interview nervousness is a serious barrier preventing too many qualified candidates, like you, if you're watching this video, from landing the job offer. In this video, I'm going to share a few reasons why you're likely nervous, plus I'm going to share a few hacks that I talk about directly with my clients to help them to calm down just a little bit. Hey, I'm Jen Tardy, your career success coach. Let's get started. Now, I actually made a video called How to Let Go of Interview Nervousness about 3 years ago. You can see it right over here, but I wanted to create a refresher video and expand upon some of those ideas that I mentioned before. The very first reason that you're likely to feel nervous in your interview is because you're not really present enough. Your thoughts are either in the past or the future. For example, you're probably emotionally kicking yourself because of how you answered that last interview question, or you're sweating bullets trying to figure out what that next interview question could be. I want you to practice just being present during the interview. Stop thinking about the past, stop thinking about the future, and be present enough to hear what that interviewer is asking you right now. Trust the process, and remember that nobody knows your knowledge, skills, and experience better than you do. I promise. Here are 2 great hacks on how to be more present. The first tip is to take a deep breath and then let it out slowly. It's not likely that you're going to think about the past or the future when you're paying attention to your breathing. And right now, that's exactly what you're doing. Another hack is to use all of your senses. What do you hear, taste? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you smell? Get more deeply connected to your senses in the middle of the interview, and it's going to help you to also be more present. The second reason you're likely nervous in your interview is because you don't really know your value. I talk about knowing your own value in our recent But What About Me podcast episode, where I did a live career coaching session with Stephanie. You can catch the link in the description to hear the whole session with Stephanie, but long story short, Stephanie's biggest challenge was that she never really considered the value she was bringing to an employer. She only considered the value the employer was bringing to her by way of the job. And when you think about it in this way, it can make you nervous. It's a mindset of, I would be so lucky to get this job, without including a mindset of, they would be so lucky to have me because I bring all this value with me. Now, when you think that the employer holds all the value and you hold none, it's enough to make you super nervous. Can you imagine going out on a date and thinking that same thing? That the other person holds all the value and that you hold none. And because of that, you hope that they choose you? That's bonkers. So here's a quick hack for that. I want you to make a list of all the value you can bring to any employer. Those things that make you awesome on any job, those things that only you can do or that most people cannot do better than you. Practice talking about it more often to your loved ones, and even say it aloud more and more when you're interviewing with employers too. It's not that you don't have value, it's just likely you haven't spent a lot of time naming that value. You cannot acknowledge something or name something that you don't first know for yourself. So join me in the comments and share with me what value you believe you can bring to any employer. Let's get a whole conversation started today about value. Go for it. By the way, if you like this video, the best way to let me know is just to give it a thumbs up. That way I can keep bringing content just like this for you. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Now, moving on. The third and final reason that you're likely nervous on your interview is because you believe that interviews are a one-way street and you are the only one that is supposed to be in the hot seat. Remember this, interviews are a two-way street. It's just as important for you to assess the employer for fit as it is for the employer to assess you for the role. And you cannot assess an employer unless you are what? That's right, asking them questions. I want you to lean into your interview and ask more questions. And don't wait until the very end. Ask throughout the interview. Here's another hack. If you can move your interview into a two-way dialogue, it will feel more natural and more familiar to you, and you'll begin to feel less nervous. So check out this other video, How to Have a Conversational Interview, if you want details on how to do this. Remember, there's nothing to be nervous about, I promise, but you've got to believe it for yourself. Try some of these tips and let me know how they work for you. And if you're also looking for some great questions to ask during your interview, be sure to download my free guide, 10 Amazing Questions to Ask During Your Interview. You can find it in the link in the details section. If you want deeper support by way of a career coach, consider joining our Offer Magnet Job Seeker program. It provides a course, live coaching, all by yours truly, and a community of ambitious people just like you. And don't try to go anywhere yet because, hey, if you are watching this video, you're likely also interviewing. So check out this other video right here. How to knock out the 24-hour notice job interview. You are going to love it. Good luck to you. I'm Jen Tardy, your career success coach. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.